Hi guys, let me get my iPad set up and we'll get started. Oh, there it is. It's all ready. Wow. Oh my gosh. Everything's working out this evening. Let's see how many people show up. I hope you do. I have a fun card. I can't say that it's how it's going to turn out because I didn't know how this one was going to turn out. I was going with one idea and ended up with something entirely different. Hi Jenny, glad you made it in. We'll see what this one turns out. It may be entirely different from the one that's in the picture, but that's okay. That's the fun of playing. You always find new things. How's your week been, Jenny? Hope you've had a good one so far. Mama, hair's a mess, goodness. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Well, let's see. I'm going tomorrow to a craft weekend. It's the Stamp, Scrap, and Art Tour. I don't know if you've heard about it or not. I'm gonna go. I always love to look for new techniques, new tools, new things to play with, new ideas. I wanna look for hybrid inks. That's a big thing right now, and I don't wanna purchase one. Oh, sorry, Jenny. Hope you get better soon. I don't wanna purchase one of the hybrid inks until I know how it's going to do. How it stamps and things like that. So these kind of things are perfect for checking out some of these things. Let me see, what else was I gonna look on? Oh, the ink brushes, I think is what they're called. There's one out, they're very expensive, like 3 brushes are 25 bucks. And it's like, I wanna play with them. And then I'll go see if I can find something cheaper. Some lady mentioned something that she had gotten at Walmart that did just as good as those brushes in the makeup, excuse me, in the makeup department. So I figure I'll play with the brushes and see, and then I'll buy the cheap one and see if it does the same, because a lot of times it's cheaper. But it doesn't give you the same effect. So I like to see what it's gonna look like and all. Yeah, we're gonna do a make and take tomorrow night. I think there's like 8 projects, and I'm thinking 8 projects in 2 hours. Whoa, we're gonna be moving. So we'll see what it is. My friend found it and wanted to go, and she's been wanting for a while. And I said, oh, sure, I'll go. And it ends up that there are 4 of us going. So we'll have fun. And then we get to do some shopping. I'll look at the other vendors. You know, I'll be looking for sentiments for inside of cards. We don't have a lot of that, and you know, sometimes I like to just stamp a sentiment inside and not have to write something. So I'm gonna look for some fun. I have a few that I kept when I moved because I gave a lot of my stuff away, but I want to be looking for some other things that I can use. I wished we had a sentiment set that was like that, but more general, fun kind of sentiments. If I ever hit the $1 million, I'm gonna do a set with that, because everybody else does images, and those images, I don't know if they ever retire those sets. But I want one with sentiments that can be used for general occasions, not birthday or any of that. So we'll see. You know, I'll see what I can find. Sometimes it's nice to kind of look and see what else they have. I am real excited about the project tonight. I was starting out, I was going to do the Joseph's Coat. And I don't know if you know what Joseph's Coat is, but I was going to do that one. And then I started with an idea, and mine turned out entirely different. So it's like, okay, I figured that I would just call this one Robbie's Coat, because it wasn't done, it didn't turn out like Joseph's coat. I don't know where Joseph's coat, oh, I guess it's from the Bible, Joseph's coat of many colors. The outside was black and the inside was all these colors. Well, mine's Robbie's coat, and I'm that kind of a person, so this card is perfect for me. I don't know. I hate the fact that I don't have a time on either my iPad or my phone when I do the lives because I can't see. I'm going to have to start putting my watch over to the side so I can see. I don't want to start till about 7:30 because I feel like people will come in around 7:30 with that. Got chilly here, Jenny. Are you? No, Joyce is in Maryland. Where are you, Jenny? Is it cold there? Some places have gotten snow already. Goodness. Hopefully you aren't one of the places that got snow, unless you like it. You might. Some people do. I do. Don't ask me why I moved to North Carolina because they hardly get any snow. But I think it was because I needed a break. I was tired of giving Uncle Sam all my money. So we'll see. I'll probably give him just as much down here, but at least it's fun. I'm constantly going and doing things. Ooh, large flakes. Wow. Well, I know that they've had several places have gotten snow and they were really surprised that it's this early. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, 50 degrees in 3 days. Wow, that's fast. We were in the 80s yesterday and we dropped down to high 60s, low 70s today. So it was a little bit nippy, but other than that, that's it, you know. I wore short sleeves and went from there. Hi, Sharon. Glad you made it in. Hi, Nancy. Glad you made it in. Oh, now everybody's coming in. See, I knew I shouldn't start. I start too soon. Hi, Barb. Glad you made it in. Flannel sheets and an electric blanket. Not bad, Jenny. If you're that cold, you do it. Yeah, I know those days. I've been cold like that. Well, ladies, I'm going to turn this camera around so we can talk a little bit, now that I've got quite a few of you in here, so we can talk a little bit about the card and the main technique. So bear with me as I do this, because I've got to take it out, flip it around, and put it in. Oh, there, and I'm going to lower it a little. All right. Now I need to get this lined up right. Let me turn my, there we go. Oh, got it. Now, of course, the dog's gonna bark because there's a dog in the neighborhood barking. Isn't this a cute card? I don't know if you're familiar with Joseph's coat, but what happens with Joseph's coat is you take and you lay down color, all different ones. I've seen them done a lot with fall cards. And then after you get your your cardstock covered with different colors, all mixed up, you then take and stamp and emboss an image on top. And then after that, you take and cover the whole thing with black ink. And I forgot a paper towel. And then you wipe it off. And what happens is the black ink stays on there and hides all the color except for the embossed areas where the color shows through. It's very pretty. But I thought, well, I want to do it with snowflakes. So I decided to try it with, what colors did I use? Highland Heather and, Pool Party. And then I used Night of Navy on top, but I did a little twist on mine. So with that, I'm going to get started and show you how to do my version. All right, I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to take a piece of Whisper white cardstock, and this is actually 3.5 by 4 3/4. I cut this down to the same size as this. When I did this first one, I didn't have it cut down. My suggestion is don't cut it down unless you have to. And then I'm going to do a little twist. I stamped a few of them and embossed them before I laid down color because I wanted some white also. And when I did it, the blue ink tints it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, and I'm going to emboss these images with white. All right, and this is the fun part because you can't see where you're stamping. All right. And I'm just going to do the 3, and then I'm going to pull out my white embossing powder, and I'm going to emboss these. All right, there's one here, and the next, there's one down here. I didn't use the embossing buddy on this one, but when you lay your color down, ooh, now that I made a mess everywhere. When you put your color down and then you emboss, you do need to use embossing buddy. And now I've got that everywhere. And I pulled my embossing gun over so that I could take and emboss without leaving. It goes fairly quick. And then the fun begins with laying down the color. The other thing that I did was in my first one, hope you can hear me, I'll move it away a little bit, I did larger pieces of color, and I'm going to use smaller sections of the color this time to see if that helps. Almost done. I always tilt mine in the light because you can see if you've missed any. It's dark, and I've got a few spots that I missed. The other thing you want to do is you want to emboss from the top, and then you want to emboss from the bottom. Your card will kind of buckle, and if you turn and emboss from the bottom, it kind of flattens it out some. All right, now it's time to start adding our color. Here's my Pool Party. There's my little sponge. Here's my Highland Heather and my sponge. All right, and I'm going to start, and I start off, and you want to have it fairly dark. And like I said, I'm going to use smaller pieces of color this time and see if we get more variety. I would like to have my snowflakes be two-toned. So I'm gonna try this and see how it works. Well, see, I should have started off, but sometimes you can work around it. All right, now. And this is, you build up your muscles on this one. Hi, Eileen. Glad you made it in. All right. A lot of people will say this is similar to Resist, but it's a little different, because after I put this down, I'm going to use the same technique that you use for Joseph's coat. And we'll see what happens with this one. See if these stay brighter since I used the white instead of the when you get in the middle, you kind of got to be creative. So you tap it lightly and start. And I am really putting down some dark colors because I want some dark colors to show up. All right, and you don't want any white spaces, so that's something to think about also, is making sure you don't have white spaces. All right. Oh, I'm getting embossing powder on my pad. Let's see if I can get it off. All right. Well, I have to say, these are definitely brighter than the ones that I did on this one. I'm going to pull it over here to this side. Hopefully you can see it. Make sure I put it in the right one. When I did this one, I used the clear. The key will be what happens when I add the navy on top. Hopefully this will work better than what I had in the first one. Although the first one's not bad, it's just that I would have liked it to be darker. I also used a sponge on the top of that one, and I'm going to try the brayer tonight because boy, it took forever to get it dark, and I'm hoping that by using the brayer at least my arm won't be killing me. All right, almost done. Remember, no white spaces, so if you have any, fill them in somehow, some way. I think this is going to be more vivid than the other one. I don't remember this being as dark, but we'll see. If it's not, it's not. All right, last corner here. I put it in the wrong one. I knew I was going to do that. I'll use the corner. Oh well, I'll just wash that one out, come up with another one. All right, you're done with this, so we can put these away. And I'm going to go real quick and get a paper towel to wipe those off. Okay, it's a good thing I have a small apartment. I want these to really pop, so I'm going to wipe the color off. I have to tell you a funny story. The first time I did Resist, I really wanted these to pop, and it didn't. So I decided to try a baby wipe. Don't do a baby wipe. Did not work at all. All right, I've got those wiped off. Now, this is where you need to dry this ink, because if you don't, your embossing powder is just going to go everywhere. So let me dry this real quick. I don't know how many are still in here. My little, oh, it says 5, so looks like everybody's still here. I used to have little pictures at the top. They've disappeared off of my screen. I don't know if it's because there's a number in here. You could do this with blues. In fact, I was thinking of doing it with blues, but then I realized I really like purple and a light purple and Pool Party for snowflakes. All right, I've got that wiped off or dried because you really want that ink to dry. And now I'm going to tap on my embossing buddy, and I'm going to go back to my stamps and my Versamark. And let's see. I'm going to put a big one here, and I'll put a little one there. And I just kind of guess where I want them. And once I get a few down, what I'll take and do is I'll take and put embossing powder on top so that I can see where I've already stamped. Okay, so I'm putting some of that on. I just noticed there's a back to a dimensional in here. All right, and see now I can see, you may not be able to see it, but I see where I have embossing powder. So I can now go in, I've got it all over my hands. I love embossing powder, but it gets everywhere. All right, I wanna grab it there, there's nothing in there. All right, I need one here. And give me the big one. I'm kind of turning it so I can see where I've stamped. All right. Let me put some more embossing powder on so I can see. Ooh, the bottom's looking good. I'm hoping I'm going to get some dual tone ones. In fact, I know I'm going to, because I'm going to put a big one right there. And then I'm going to finish up with some small ones. And I just put my hand there. Let's see, I need a small one here. Let me put some stuff on it. I don't know where that other big one is. Okay, now I can see it. And I need one there. All right. Now it's time to emboss again. Or let me get these, see if I can get this done. And then the magic begins. Once we get these all melted, then we're going to put the blue on top. And hopefully I can get it dark enough that it'll be really pretty. Not that that other one isn't, but I would like it darker because that's Night of Navy ink and it's not real dark. Turn this around. I'm almost done, ladies. That's a disadvantage to this when you do a Facebook Live if you have to emboss. All right, there it is. Now, let me just close these up because I have been known to take my embossing powder and dump it out, knock it over. I have done that so many times it isn't funny. All right, and I don't have a Swiffer over here, darn. Do you know you can take a Swiffer, I can't use this just yet, but you can take a Swiffer floor cleaner and you can wipe this up and it takes it all off. All right, here we go. Let's see if we get, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip this over so I don't get embossing powder all over this. And I got ink on this, my fingers, so let's see if we can get it darker using this brayer. And if we can't, I'll go back to the sponge, but you got to get this really primed. I think it's not doing too bad. There we go. Now I'm getting it dark. You have to build up your ink. Oh yeah. Much better. I was killing my arm. I was developing muscles on that other one. I think this one's going to be better. And you just have to build it up. And you just keep going at it and going at it and going at it till you get it good and dark. But I can already see that this is darker. Let's see, can you see? This one is darker than that one. So the sponge brayer is the way to go. I'm going to flip this around and work this way on this piece. I just wanted those white ones to be white. So I wanted some white snowflakes and some colored snowflakes. I can still see some color hidden or showing through on the places that aren't embossed. All right, but it's much better than what I was doing before. This can be messy, so that's why you put down a paper. See, I've got this corner I can't get. Ah, there it goes. I want it. All right, there we go. Much darker. So the sponge brayer's the hint, and the advantage, you can wash this out and use it again. All right, now, set that over there. Now what you need to take and do is you need to take your, oh, I see I totally missed a spot there. I could have put a snowflake there. You want to take and you want to buff. See, that was a white one. I can't get the white. It's getting better though. So you want to take off that ink that's on top of your snowflakes. So you buff them. And I'm shaking the thing. Well, I think these white ones are a lot whiter than the other ones that I have on the other one. I probably could work at it. See, I'm still getting ink off of there. So you just keep buffing. See, that one is white. That one may not have had enough embossing powder on it. You just have to be careful when you're doing this that you don't bend your paper. Nobody's saying anything. What do you think, ladies? And I do have some colored snowflakes, and I'm about to the point where I'm not going to get any more off. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to kind of put this under it, under my mat, see if I can get some of this embossing powder off, because it'll get all over everything. I usually have a Swiffer here. Not bad, not bad. Let me set this aside so I don't drop it on the floor. All right, now, see how much darker it is with the brayer and a lot easier on your hand. Now we're going to put our card together. All right, first thing you do is I mounted mine, that's why I cut it smaller. I mounted it on a piece of glimmer paper. But I don't know about you, but there's a lot of wasted glimmer paper inside here. So, did you know you can cut out the center? What I did was I used a ½ inch, and I lined up my paper here at a ½ inch, and I put my cutter, that's the score one, that won't hurt, my cutter in at a ½ inch, and I went down and stopped a ½ inch before the end, which is right about there. I picked it up, turned it around, put it again at a ½ inch, put this at a ½ inch, and I went over a ½ inch. So right about there. Flip it around, line it up with a ½ inch. So what you're basically doing is you're cutting a rectangle out of the middle, and then there might have to be, and I have a tendency to do this, that you need to do a little bit of extra cutting, which is no big deal because usually the corners don't line up. Sometimes you can pop it like that. I didn't go far enough. See, that one popped out. But this one I'm just going to take and I'm going to snip it out. All right, that side's off. That one came off. And sometimes they'll come off. That one needs just a little bit of snipping. There. And see, now you have a frame you can use, and this goes on it, and you can use this for something else. So you haven't wasted all of that behind it. Now, I will tell you, with the frame of Glimmer paper, I have found glue dots are the best thing and that hold up. I have tried glue, it releases. I have tried the tear and tape, it releases. So I just put glue dots all around the edge, and I'm doing the edge of, of the cardstock. So I make sure I get it. I missed that corner. There we go. Because I messed that one up, I'm going to put another one right next to it. And then I need to do this side. But I just put a glue dot right at the edge all the way around. And then this, you then put on here, and make it even. And there you go. All right. Now we have to add our ribbon. And with the ribbon, I always use the tear and tape. Glue dots release. It's really strange. I have found certain things. I'm looking for my tear and tape, and I know I pulled it out. Oh, here it is, right here in front of me. I have found certain things work for me. I think a lot of it depends on the humidity in your area, in your house. If you have a lot of humidity, tape and things like that aren't going to hold. If you have if you have no humidity, they're not, the glue and things like that are going to dry out. So you just have to kind of make something and set it aside and see what happens. All right, let me get this on here. I should have put that down there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to switch. I'm not going to worry about that. Only because I missed this corner, and that has some good coverage. So I wasn't paying attention when I was doing that. I was so busy telling you about the adhesives. So I'll just put on another piece down here, and that's okay. It'll just mean it'll stick to my card real good. I'm going to take these off again. Okay. All right. See, it won't be as noticeable. I'll put the bow on that side, and you won't really see that there's no snowflake there. All right, here we go. All right, yeah, I agree, Nancy. The darker blue is pretty. This one is nice, but I really like the darker blue. And then I always go back and add another piece of tear and tape on top so that your ribbon is sandwiched in between your adhesive. I have never had a piece of ribbon come apart on a card this way, and I have had them come off other ways. All right, got that. Now, I need to take and get my card base folded. And I'm going to add some glue to the top and bottom because there's no adhesive there. All right. Now it's time to put this on. Okay. I love the fact that this time I was able, I don't know if you can tell, but look at this one. There's purple, and then there's the pool party, and then there's the Highland Heather again. So I've got different colors in there. All right, now, this is from the special that's going on right now. I don't have this set, but I had a good friend stamp me a bunch and send them to me. So it was perfect for this card. I love the snowflakes, but and I love this sentiment, but it just makes me mad. It's only available for a month. So, all right, and I'm putting this on a piece of the same piece of glimmer paper, and then this goes on with dimensionals. So let me put my dimensionals on the back, and then the only thing we need is the ribbon. Oh, I ran out of... I also cut my dimensionals in half. Most of the time you don't need a whole dimensional. You end up using more than you need. You know, if you put on a whole dimensional there, it's more than you need. So I just cut them in half. I just cut a bunch and cut them a strip at a time. All right, now I got to take these backs off. I don't know if you can see my area over to the side. It's really messy. I got to clean it up. I've been busy getting things done before I leave this weekend. All right. Oh, there. Now I need my bow, and it's done. Hi, Linda. Thanks, Barb. Which is your favorite? Tell me your favorite, ladies. The light or the dark? This one was done by sponging on the color, kills your arm. This one was done with the brayer. Much easier on the arm. All right, where's my glue dots? Here. Oh, Jenny, you like them both. This is what I had hoped to get with that one, and it didn't work. I don't think you see the color. I don't think the colors are as noticeable in this one as they are in this, and I'll hold it up so you can see both up close. So there you go. But see how the colors are they're more vivid on this than this. And like I said, this one, my color, when I sponged it on, it was further apart. Keep your colors close together, like I did the 4 colors across there, the top. And this this one is the first one that I did, and I don't think there was as much Versamark on it, so you might want to ink your stamp up and off stamp it and then do it again, because this one and this one stayed white, which is what I was going for. So white, and then the colors, so you'd really have the colors in there. So, I mean, I just love this idea. As I've said, Joseph's coat is usually done with all the colors, then you emboss like I did, and then you put black on top. But I didn't think black would look good with snowflakes. Ooh, good fairy background. Yeah, it would. So I have 2 cards, 2 entirely different cards, and the only difference was one was sponged and one was put on with a sponge brayer. This one to me was a lot easier. My arm was killing me, and I hadn't even halfway done this, and I couldn't get it dark. So it was interesting. Ooh, stars all over. You're right, Barb. That would make a cute fairy background. Now I got to go find stars. Oh, Barb, why did you do that? You give me these ideas, and I just want to take and run with them. So, all right. Let me take this out, flip it around. Oops, wrong way. I was showing you my ceiling. And get my holder straight. I hope you guys will try this. If you want to see what Joseph's coat really looks like, you can look it up. There are videos on it to see. If you have, like, I will tell you, if you're going to do an image, it needs to be an image that is open, like a solid leaf. If you're going to do a fall one and do Joseph's coat, the solid image won't let you see the color. So it's got to be almost like the outline of the leaf. Like this one wouldn't work, this one would. And that's where I got my snowflakes from, was from Colorful Seasons. So think about finding images that are open like this, because then the color shows through. It doesn't show through on that one when you emboss it. So that's something to keep in mind. So lots of great ideas. Just because I want to. Today is Barb's birthday, so make sure everybody says happy birthday to Barb. Yep, she took some time and spent it with us this evening, which I was pleased with. She was, she could be off at dinner somewhere, but she decided to join us, so I appreciate that. And happy birthday, Barb. I hope you had a great day. Look at my inky fingers. Hope you had a great day, and I am super excited about this weekend. We're going to be going to the craft weekend. I am hoping that we find lots of fun things. No, you didn't miss me. You just got the end of it, so you'll have to watch, because I came up with an entirely different one. So 2 different techniques, and I told you how I did it. Well, ladies, I need to go and get packing so that I'm ready for tomorrow morning, so I can go meet Barb, so we can go play this weekend. I'm so excited. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Stay warm if it's cold where you are. Have a great weekend. Bye.